Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Dr. Petrie, and today it is my great pleasure to introduce you to the document-based lesson. The document-based lesson is the third section of Abby Reisman's award-winning dissertation. Abby Reisman lectures at the Teachers College at Columbia University. She's an assistant professor at Penn. In 2011, she won the Larry Metcalf Exemplary Dissertation Award from the National Council for the Social Studies, which has really, in the past few years, been dominated by people from the Stanford History Education Group. This year, it was Joel Breakstone who won it. This post attempts to summarize pages 124 to 168. The entire dissertation is a fantastic read for history geeks. It is on the blog. You may download it and read it. This week's reading will be the aforementioned pages, page 124 to 168. And what it talks about is the document-based lesson is synonymous with reading like a historian. This paper came out of a 6-month intervention that was tested in 5 San Francisco schools. The Reading Like a Historian program created significant outcomes on student learning along 4 measures: historical thinking, factual knowledge, general reasoning, and reading comprehension. So this document-based lesson requires students to engage in rigorous, open-ended historical inquiries, open-ended historical inquiries. The curriculum provides teachers with classroom-ready, sequenced lessons that are free, and the activity sequence follows very familiar, distinct structures for teachers in the same order in each lesson. They are A, the establishment of background knowledge, or 2, historical inquiry with multiple documents, and 3, class discussion. So each lesson begins with a review of background knowledge. This can be done with a lecture, this can be done with video, or with textbook questions. Students read between 2 to 5 primary documents that examine a historical question from several perspectives. These documents offer conflicting interpretations. They're sequenced to make students change their mind. And the conflicting accounts in the documents force students to evaluate the level of truthiness, thank you, Stephen Colbert, in the claims. They force students to consider the context, to rationalize their judgments. Finally, students participate in whole class discussion along the central question of the lesson, and the students are required to use evidence from the documents to substantiate their claims. So, the important highlights here are that teachers remain the active leaders of their classroom activities. They rely on well-established and familiar sequences that teachers already probably use on a daily basis. These procedures help students review the content language, the content knowledge, and redirect discussions to the documents. And key to the program's success is how DBL embeds historical inquiry. Key to the program's success is how DBL embeds historical inquiry into the familiar structures and rearranges them into a repeatable instructional order in each lesson. So, although the lessons have different content, different topics, they follow the same familiar pattern. Teachers are the active leaders of the classroom activities. They use familiar sequences to review students' content knowledge and to redirect this discussion back to the documents. So, the one thing that SHEG has done is they have simplified primary source documents. And there are a few educators like Bob Bain at Michigan and other folks, the big history folks, that are really against editing primary source documents. But Reisman developed a protocol for this, and we'll talk about that protocol now. So Reading Like a Historian, the program, simplifies excerpts from primary source documents for presentation and focus only. Each document is printed in a large font with lots of friendly white space along the margins, and they're no longer than 250 words. So then, reading like a historian turns social studies teachers into reading instructors who deliver explicit strategy instruction. Students need to watch the teachers repeatedly practice these strategies. And let's talk about the DBL curriculum, or the document-based lesson, and the reading like a historian. I use those two terms interchangeably. They mean the same thing. So reading like a historian turns history teachers into reading teachers. These document-based lessons use 4 strategies that are used by expert historical readers. These strategies are: 1, sourcing, considering the document's source and purpose; 2, contextualizing, placing the document in a specific time and space. This is 1820s Massachusetts. Number 3, corroboration, comparing the accounts of multiple sources against each other. Do they all say the same thing? Do they conflict? And then number 4 is close reading. If you're a Common Core teacher, you know all about close reading by now. It's a metacognitive strategy where you consider the author's use of language and word choice. So, these lessons have similar goals. They accomplish 5 activities in a 50-minute class period: video, lecture, teacher modeling, small group work, and whole class discussion. These activities all have the same goal of initiating students into the practices of historical inquiry. Document-based lessons mirror reform efforts that have produced instructional change by providing extensive materials to support teacher change, clear and specific methods for instruction practice, and local facilitators whose job it is to coach teachers and ensure that they stick to the curriculum, curricular fidelity. Teachers who are interested in adopting this model can get free lessons here at the SHEG website. There are 5 intro lessons that tell you how to do the process. There are about 73 U.S. history lessons. There are only 25 world history lessons, but when I spoke to Joel Breakstone at NCSS this year, he told me that there's particular emphasis on increasing the number of world history lessons. If you go to the teachingchannel.com, you can also see 14 separate Reading Like a Historian videos that show some of the work that was done in these San Francisco classrooms and show you how to adapt this classroom, how to utilize this curriculum in your classroom. So, I know my school district, Los Angeles Unified, has adopted this SHEG curriculum, and this includes the Reading Like a Historian program and also the Beyond the Bubble assessments. SHEG is really coming to dominate history instruction in California, at least. I don't know about the rest of the country. I look forward to seeing your thoughts on the discussion board about this program, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.